All right, coffee and crypto here, Rob here,
Nick here.
and today we're going to talk about the truth about crypto and what you need to know about the crypto market. So, what is the truth about crypto? Basically, what I wanted to talk about is I don't think the average person understands that in crypto, majority of all the projects out there, top 25, top 100, all the cryptos, none of these projects, companies are actually even making money, generating revenue, or have functional live products. It's all just speculative investing and trading on what everyone thinks is going to be the next big thing, and nothing really has use or utility. A perfect example is Cardano. Cardano is what? It's a top 10 right now, maybe just outside the top 10.
I was just about to go pull up CoinMarketCap to take a look at.
Cardano is where?
So Cardano is number 9 right now, sitting at 93 cents.
Okay, Cardano is number 9. It was at one point, I think it was number.
It was like over $2. I know.
I think it was like number 3 or it was top 5 on market cap, and that is a project that doesn't even have a working product.
Yeah, absolutely. What most people, I would say, don't know or understand about crypto is right now it's kind of like everything is just hype right now. It's kind of like I don't know if you were around in the internet bubble of the late 90s where it didn't even matter if you had a working product at all. All that really mattered was how many eyeballs did your website get. It didn't matter if you were actually producing anything real. That, to me, that kind of feels like what's going on right now in cryptocurrency is there's new projects coming out on a daily, a weekly basis. And all that it really matters is how much hype you can get on crypto Twitter, how many like influencers you have backing your project. And it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy where people buy into a project because they know it's getting hyped and they know there's going to be an initial price action. But it's not backed by anything real. There's no real utility behind a lot of the projects out there right now. And I'm talking projects in the top 50.
I think that's why they have the saying, it's buy the rumor, sell the news, right?
Yeah, I've definitely heard that one.
The other way around.
No, buy the rumor, sell the news.
Sell the news. Mm-hmm. That's right.
I mean, if we can just go down the list right now of the top 20 projects, and I'm going to see which ones I can find that actually have any real utility.
I think it's a good and a bad thing, because if all these projects were established, working product, service, they're generating revenue, it's a legitimate company, at that point, it's established and people have already bought in, right? They've already made a lot of gains.
I mean, I think it's a good thing and it's a bad thing at the same time. It's a good thing because it drives a lot of innovation. It drives a lot of investment to these projects. And we're talking about changing the future. We're talking about going to Web 3.0. We're talking about getting some good is going to come out of this, because just like in the internet revolution, the major players ended up surviving. Like you got your Amazon, you got your Google, and I would argue that for society as a whole, because the internet bubble of the late 90s happened, that drove a lot of innovation in the space and allowed our society to progress. I feel like the same thing is happening now in the crypto space. I think you just need to be aware of what you're investing in and realizing that a lot of the value that's baked into these crypto projects is hype. And where there's a lot of hype, only the best projects and the most the ones that benefit the society the most are eventually going to get found out and are going to succeed. So just got to be aware of that. It's a very exciting time to be in the market because of the wild price fluctuations. But it can also be dangerous, because if a project doesn't succeed, investors can lose a lot.
Right, and that's kind of what I was thinking. It's a good thing and a bad thing, because there's going to be projects that just fade away. people are going to lose money on, but it's also an opportunistic time because imagine you could invest in Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Uber, Airbnb, all these companies when they were early stage startup. They were just getting going and you were an early investor and you got in early, you would have made a killing, right? Everyone wishes they invested in all these companies when they were just getting started. So this is the opportunity to be a early stage investor into the next generation of companies that are pioneering Web3, blockchain, NFTs, and the whole push towards cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and I think one way that like the average investor can play it is just make sure you stay diversified. Invest across 10 different projects. If only 2 of them end up succeeding, they're going to take off by thousands of percent, even though you may lose your initial investment in the other 8. We're so early in this space right now. There's tons of money to be made.
I think there's definitely some ways you can evaluate a project and see whether it's legitimate or not. Like a very simple thing to do is just go on their website, look at the team and see is the team, like, do they publicly list their team? Can you see who the CEO is? Can you see who, the head of marketing is? Do they have an actual picture of themselves and it's the actual name and you can look them up on like LinkedIn or something, or you can Google them and it's a credible team. They have, past experience doing XYZ with this company. So a lot of it is looking up the credibility, looking up their roadmap, looking up who is investing into that project. If there's notable investors or investment funds that are backing said project, then it's a good chance that it's credible.
Yeah,
right?
and also one other thing that I think you left out is one thing that I definitely look for in a project that I'm going to be investing is does the team have passion about what they're doing? Do they actually believe that they're going to be doing something beneficial for society? And that's because building a project is hard. So sometimes a lot of things that keep people going on a daily basis is just their passion and their drive, and also if they have a vision for what they want their project to be in the future. So that's one of the things that I look for in crypto projects that I'm investing in is, do they have a good real world utility that is going to help benefit society in some way, and is the leadership of the team passionate about what they're doing?
Right, that's a good point. You also want to invest in projects that you think could be the next thing that's going to shake up the market or, change things like Uber or Airbnb. They kind of shifted away from the old traditional style models. So if it's a project that you believe in and you think it has potential and you think it could really shake up a market, that's a good sign for a company that you may want to invest in.
Yeah. Okay. I got one question for you, Rob. Everything we talked about, you're a cryptocurrency investor yourself. What is one project that you see all of these things in that you yourself would consider throwing some money at for this next bull cycle?
Yeah. So we've talked about this before. I do mining, right? So I'm involved in the helium mining project.
Okay.
I like that because helium is basically trying to compete with the big telecommunications companies. So Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, right? They're trying to create a decentralized version of that by allowing consumers to buy hotspots or miners. They plug in their miner, they set it up, and that's providing coverage to the network instead of Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile spending however much money it costs to buy or lease the land and then put a cellular network tower on a piece of land and then pay for all that overhead and whatever it is to keep up with that. So they're basically decentralizing a communications network. They're expanding to 5G, which, that's a whole argument in itself, whether 5G is good or not. But some people believe 5G is the next big thing as far as the speed and the amount of data you can transfer over it. So it's basically a decentralized communication company. It's allowing consumers to partake in it and actually earn by providing coverage to the network. And they're trying to compete with the big dogs, and they have real funding, real backing. They've raised real capital. They're making real progress. It actually is a usable, functioning blockchain. You can have devices, sensors that run off the coverage it provides. So I think it has a bright future if they can keep improving the product and the blockchain and kind of get all the kinks out that comes with a growing company. I think they're going to have a bright future, and the coin will be worth a lot in the future.
All right, so that's Rob's pick, Helium. It sounds like it's a Web 3.0 play, decentralizing everything that we're going to be doing in the future in communications. Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap it up there.
All right, sounds good.